Me, 26, got dumped 2 months ago by Ramona. She said I was too agreeable, which is a wild thing to be dumped for. Anyway, Ramona's mom still texts me, never stopped. Wesley, honey, Sunday dinner, 6 p.m. I know I should say no. I say yes, because I am apparently too agreeable. Show up with a lemon cake. Ramona's mom hugs me for 9 seconds. Ramona is already at the table. She looks at me like a parking ticket. And there's a woman next to her I've only met twice. Yasmin, the older sister. Tall, dark blazer, sitting like she owns the chair. Architect. She designs actual buildings. Meanwhile, I test video games. Cool, cool, cool. Their mom points at the seat next to Yasmin. Wesley, sit here. There are 4 empty seats. She pats that one specifically, twice. Then she turns to Yasmin. Yasmin, Wesley cooks. Did you know Wesley cooks? I did not, Yasmin says. Do you know how rare that is? Mom, Ramona says, I'm making conversation. She is not making conversation. She is building a bridge with me on it. Then it escalates. Yasmin's single, you know. Thank you for that, Yasmin says. Wesley's single too. Yes, I say. Everyone here knows why. Ramona stabs a potato. My soul leaves my body. And then it happens. Yasmin looks at me. Right at me, sideways, one eyebrow up. The look says, are you seeing this? And I give her, without meaning to, the tiniest nod. I am seeing this. She looks back at her plate, mouth doing the thing where you don't laugh. Brain stops. Rest of dinner, their mom runs full interrogation. Wesley, what are your goals? Wesley, do you want children? Can I have more bread? Every time she loads another question, Yasmin taps her fork twice on her plate, like a countdown. I start waiting for the taps. I have never had a better time at that table. Ramona leaves before dessert. I leave 10 minutes later. Yasmin says, drive safe, Wesley. Uses my name, whatever. It's a name. It's fine. 11:40 p.m. I'm in bed. Unknown number. Hi, it's Yasmin. Mom gave me your number, obviously. Her subtlety, 2 out of 10. I stare at it. Another message comes in. Rude of her, honestly, to both of us. Then one more. But we're both survivors of the same woman. Coffee, compare strategies. Sister of my ex, texting me first. At midnight, my thumb is already typing, yes, oh no. I think their mom's plan is working. 2 days later, coffee. I planned for 45 minutes, escape route and everything. She orders, sits down, and opens with, so, what do you actually do at work? I say, I test games. Most people nod and change the subject. Yasmin doesn't. Test them how? What are you looking for? Oh, she's serious, so I explain. I play the same 12 minutes 80 times, trying to break it. Walking into walls sideways to see if the wall gives up. And I mention I build my own little games at night, tiny ones. Nobody plays them. She stops me. Wait, you make games and nobody in that family has ever said that? Your mom describes me as Wesley who cooks. You're a side dish to her. I am a side dish. She laughs with her whole face. This is not a 45-minute laugh. Then she keeps going, asks what the hardest part of making a level is, asks how you teach someone the rules without a tutorial pop-up. I tell her you put a small, safe version of the danger first. Her hands stop moving. That's the same as buildings, she says. You put a low ceiling before the big room, so the big room feels huge. I stare at her. So, you also walk into walls sideways. Constantly. We're there 3 hours. My coffee is cold and I don't care. Outside, she does not do the polite goodbye. Dinner Thursday. Is this still your mom's plan? No, her plan was you sitting quietly next to me. She looks straight at me. I want to keep talking to you. That's mine. Brain stops again. Okay, yeah. Very smooth, Wesley. Thursday goes long too. For our third date, she picks an architecture exhibit. Models of buildings under glass, tiny stairs, tiny doors. And she stops being polite about space. She stands next to me, shoulder basically on mine, points at a stairwell. Look what he did here. He made you turn a corner so you can't see the room until you're in it. She taps my arm when she makes a point, then leaves her hand there for a second, then does it again at the next model, and again. By the fourth building, it's not tapping. It's just her hand on my arm. You know this is a museum, right? Then stand further away. I do not stand further away. She smiles like she already knew that. And I'm walking to my car thinking one thing. Their mom did this by accident, and my ex has no idea any of it is happening. Next week, dinner at a noodle place. Ramona texts me mid-meal. Can you drop off the air fryer Sunday? No hello. Third request this month. And I type sure before I even think. Yasmin watches me do it. You didn't pause. Pause for what? For whether you wanted to. I look at the phone. Honestly, I don't know how to say no to her. I got kind of trained out of it. I know. I look up. You know? She puts her chopsticks down. You made her a birthday cake with a little sugar cat decoration because she mentioned cats once in October. I remember it immediately. She said, you didn't have to do all that. Put it on the counter and never touched it, Yasmin continues. I sat there and watched. I forgot about the cat. I didn't. It annoyed me for 2 years. My throat does a weird thing. Why did it annoy you? Because she had somebody who paid attention and she thought it was boring. Yasmin looks down at her noodles. That's a strange thing to watch from across a table. I don't have a line for that. I just eat noodles like a normal man, badly. Next weekend, she cooks at her place. Ends with us standing in her kitchen, not moving. I'm going to kiss you, she says. Is that okay? Yes. Pause. Very yes. Another pause. Sorry, that was 2 yeses. I'll take both. Then she does. Hand on the side of my neck, not rushed at all. Whole month of standing close, cashed in. Afterward, forehead against mine, she says, your ex is going to lose her mind. A bit, yeah. Good. So now we're actually dating, quietly. No announcements, which lasts about a week. 4 weeks after the setup dinner. Thursday. Small Italian place. Yasmin's hand on my knee under the table, and Ramona walks in, with 2 friends, and stops, and stares at the hand, and does not lower her voice. You're joking. Whole room already listening. Wesley, are you serious right now? I say nothing. Ramona keeps going. You got dumped and went upstairs in the same family? Whole room turns. You know this is pity, right? Mom's little project. She feels bad for you, so she handed you to my sister. There it is. That's pathetic even for you. And I sit there, too agreeable, mouth open, nothing coming out. Then Yasmin stands up. She doesn't raise her voice. She just gets tall. Say the pity thing again. Ramona looks at her. I'm talking to him. You're performing at him. Different. Yasmin doesn't move. Nobody handed him to me. I texted him. First. At midnight. Ramona's friends discover the ceiling. Because you spent 2 years bored by a man who listens. Silence. Go eat somewhere else, Ramona. And Ramona goes. Chair scrape. Door. Gone. Waiter brings the bread like nothing happened. Legend. Yasmin sits back down and immediately looks at me. You okay? The pity project thing is going to live in my head, rent-free. Then let's evict it. She squeezes my hand. Is any of this pity to you? No. Correct. Eat your bread. Next morning, Yasmin doesn't hide it or dance around it. She texts their mom straight out. Wesley and I are dating. Ramona came at him in a restaurant last night and called him pathetic. That's not happening again. Their mom calls Yasmin twice. Then she calls me. On the phone, she tries very hard to sound surprised. Well, isn't that something? You seated us together. I seat everyone somewhere. This woman. A week later, their mom throws a family thing anyway. Because of course she does. And there is a place card with my name on it. Next to Yasmin, place cards. At a Sunday lunch for 6 people. Their mom keeps announcing things all afternoon. Yasmin hasn't brought anyone to this table in years. Wesley brought the cake again. Isn't he thoughtful? Yasmin finally looks at her. Mom, sit down. She sits down. Briefly. Ramona isn't there. 2 people who are close to Ramona are. A cousin and a friend. And they do the whispering thing at the far end. Looking at me. Then not looking at me. Bad sign. I clock it. Say nothing. Yasmin clocks that I clocked it. Puts her hand flat on my back for a second. Doesn't explain it. Doesn't need to. We're the couple now. Out loud, in front of the family. Then, a couple of weeks later, nothing dramatic happens. And that's the part that gets me. Tuesday. 2 p.m., random link on my phone. Long article about how a game teaches you its rules without ever telling you. Yasmin texts, "Thought of you. Also, this guy is wrong about corridors and you'd say so." Later, another message. "How's the night project? Still the one where you play the janitor?" The janitor game. I mentioned it once, weeks earlier, for maybe 4 sentences. "You remembered that? You told me. Why would I dump it? People do. I'm aware." And I sit in a parking lot holding my phone like an idiot because 2 years with her sister, and nobody ever once asked what the game was about. Next week, Yasmin drags me to a work thing, her firm, the place where she designs buildings, drinks, name tags, tiny food. I own one blazer, and it knows it. What do I say if someone asks what I do? The truth. It's more interesting than theirs. They build hospitals, and they'll still ask you follow-up questions. Watch. And she is right, annoyingly, because she introduces me like this, hand on the small of my back. "This is Wesley, my person. He builds games. Ask him about how you teach someone a room without a sign in it." My person. She says it to 4 different people. Same words every time, like it was already decided. A junior guy asks me an actual question. We talk for 10 minutes about doors. At one point, I look over, and Yasmin is fixing somebody's floor plan on a napkin. 3 people leaning in. She says one sentence. They all go, "Oh." Big win watching that. Also slightly attracted to death. Unrelated, car ride home, she goes quiet. Then she asks, "Did that bother you? Tonight?" Which part? Me being the loudest person in the room about my own work. I turn toward her. Why would that bother me? Because it bothered the last one. And she tells me. Guy she was with for 3 years started calling her promotion the new obsession, told her she'd be happier if she wanted less. He said it like a compliment, she says, every time. Then quieter. So I got in the habit of shrinking dinner conversations. That's why I asked. "Okay, I'm listing things. Don't interrupt." She glances at me. I start counting. "You fixed a floor plan on a napkin and made 3 grown adults say, 'Oh.' 1. You asked what the janitor game was about. 2. You told your sister to leave a restaurant without raising your voice. 3. You say the thing instead of hinting at the thing. 4. None of that is a lot. That's just you at full size." She doesn't say anything. I don't want the smaller version. I'd get bored. Silence for a bit. Then she reaches over and holds my hand at a red light. Say full size again, and I'll drive into a pole. Full size? Wesley. Which is the part that ruins me. Quietly. Because after that, I go home. And my ex has sent 3 more texts that week. None of them hello. "You're being weird. Mom's obsessed with you too. You know she'll get bored." Normally I'd type, "Sure," or nothing. Instead, I sit there for 20 minutes, then send, "Ramona, I'm with your sister, and it's real. I'm not discussing it with you. If you want to talk about anything else, be normal. Otherwise, I'm not replying." Then I put the phone face down, like it's a live grenade. I show Yasmin. She reads it twice. "You wrote that?" "Yeah." "Not sorry once?" I typed sorry 4 times and deleted it. "I'm counting that as 0. She hands the phone back. "That's the first clean no I've seen you give her. It took 20 minutes. Next one will take 5. By the next week, I have a toothbrush at her place. Not a conversation. She just buys one and puts it in the cup. Saturday morning, Yasmin's kitchen, and we have our first real fight about coffee. "You're stirring it." "Yes." "Why?" "Because it tastes better." "That's not how heat works, Wesley. You design buildings, not drinks. I'm going to write that on your grave." Then she takes my cup, drinks half, says nothing about the taste, menace. Then we sit there 20 minutes and don't talk at all. And it's not weird. She's got her feet on my leg, reading something on her phone. I'm eating cereal out of a mug because all her bowls are dirty. That's the whole scene. Somehow this becomes routine. 3 weeks into that routine, midweek, she says it. We're on her couch. "Move in with me. No build-up, no wine. Just that." I stare at her. Like, move in? That's the phrase, yes. Here? No, somewhere new. Ours. It's been 3 months. I'm aware of the calendar. And then she tells me the other thing. Also, family's messy right now. Ramona's people have opinions. Turns out one of their cousins called Yasmin a bit much for dating me. Somebody else said she was doing it to win. Somebody actually asked if she'd considered how it looks. 2 of them have stopped inviting me to things. And you're telling me this while asking me to move in. Yes, I don't hide the ugly part. And here's where my brain does the thing, because a voice in my head says she's digging in because they pushed her. And I'd be the flag she's planting, and I've been somebody's convenient thing before, so I say it out loud. I need to ask something bad. Go. Are you asking because you want me there, or because they told you not to? She doesn't get mad. She puts her phone down. Fair question. Then she says, I decided in June. Decided what? That I wanted you in the mornings, before anyone had an opinion. She doesn't look away. Then they had opinions, and I didn't change my mind. That's all that happened. Okay. And Wesley? Yeah? Say no if it's no. She points at me. I'd rather you take 3 weeks and mean it than say yes tonight to be nice. Then, because she knows me now, you do that. I've seen you do that. I do that. So don't. Take the time. So I take the time, a whole week and a half, which for me is basically a research project. Then Tuesday night, at her sink, drying a pan, I finally say it. Yes, I want to live with you. She turns around. And I thought about it, properly. That's a real yes. Deadpan. I know. You made a list, didn't you? 2 columns. God, I like you. Then she takes the pan out of my hands and kisses me, still wet. Whatever. So now we're apartment hunting, and their mom doesn't know yet, which is a countdown, not a secret. Apartment hunting with an architect is a nightmare. We see 4 places. She rejects 3 in under a minute. Kitchen faces a wall. No. Walls are standard. Not like that, they're not. At the 4th one, she stands in the middle of the living room, turns slowly, then goes, yeah. And that's the one. Fight of the week is my desk versus her hallway table. The desk is where the games happen. The table was my grandmother's. Okay, you win. That's not fair. I know, I led with it. Also, we start betting on their mom, because she still doesn't know. She finds out within a week, 4 days, and she'll pretend she guessed. So, Saturday brunch. Their mom calls it just a small thing. It is not a small thing. My ex isn't there again. But the cousin who called Yasmin a bit much is. And their mom is already loaded with material. Wesley, do you like north-facing windows? Sure. Because Yasmin does, for when you 2 have your own place. Yasmin and I look at each other, full second of eye contact. Her mouth twitches. She taps her fork twice on her plate, same as the very first dinner. That's our whole language now. Then their mom escalates. I'm just saying, 2 rents is silly. Pause. And I know a man with a van. Yasmin doesn't even look up. You already know, don't you? Their mom gasps like she's been accused of espionage. Know what? Mom. Fine. Your cousin's realtor is my hairdresser's daughter. 4 days. Yasmin called it in 4 days. I owe her dinner. And here's the part I like. The cousin does a little sniff. That's fast, isn't it? Yasmin doesn't argue with her, doesn't justify it. Just says, it is, we're doing it anyway. And passes her the bread. Conversation over. The cousin has nowhere to go with that. Couple weeks later, I finally see Yasmin do the job properly. She invites me to sit in the back at a client presentation. You'll be bored. I'll be smug, different thing. It's a community center, or it's going to be. The clients are unhappy. They want a big open hall. They also want quiet rooms. The current layout can't give them both. Everybody's talking in circles. Yasmin lets them go for 10 minutes, then stands up and draws 1 line on the board, moves the corridor to the outside of the building, so the noisy hall never touches the quiet rooms. Same money, same footprint. The room goes quiet. Then the oldest client says, oh, there it is again. The oh. Afterward, I text her from the parking lot before she's even outside. You solved a 2-hour argument with 1 line and then apologized for the delay. I send another one. Also, nobody said thank you, and I'm still mad about it. Her reply comes almost immediately. Nobody ever does. I did. That's my job now. There's a pause before her next reply. I'm keeping that text. Another message. Come here. I'm buying you a terrible sandwich. Next week, I cook at her place. Nothing fancy. Chicken thing with too much garlic. She sits on the counter with a glass of wine and watches. Doesn't help. Refuses to help. I'm supervising. You're eating the raw peppers. Quality control. Then, out of nowhere, she says, He never did this. I look over. Cooked? Noticed? That gets my attention. You made this because I said Tuesdays are bad. I said it once. You did say that once. 3 years and nobody ever built the week around me. She looks at the pan. I didn't know I wanted it. Now I'd fight someone for it. I stand there holding a wooden spoon like an idiot. I'm going to be so annoying about this. Be annoying, she tastes the sauce. Also, the garlic is too much. The garlic is correct. The garlic is a war crime. She eats 2 plates. Then, a couple of weeks later, Ramona texts. Actually normal for once. Can we get coffee? No drama. And this is the part I'd have dodged forever before. So I go, and I decide on the drive what I'm saying, which is new for me. Deciding first. She starts with, Mom's insufferable about you two. Then adds, I'm not apologizing for the restaurant. I didn't ask you to. That stops her for a second. Here's the actual thing. I'm with Yasmin. It's real. We're moving in together next month. Wow. She looks out the window. Okay. And I'm not fighting with you about it, or explaining it, or getting your permission. She looks back at me. If you want to be around me at family stuff, be normal. That's the whole ask. I keep going before I can soften it. If you can't, I'll be polite and that's it. And she sits there and does the thing where she waits for me to soften it, because I always softened it. I don't. 20 seconds of nothing. Then she says, You never used to talk like this. Yeah, I nod. I know. She pays for her own coffee and leaves. No hug, no war. Honestly, fine. The next day I do the harder one, their mom's kitchen, because she has now sent me a moving checklist, a curtain link, and a message about the second bedroom. I need to say something, and I don't want you to cry. I never cry. You cried at a car advert. That was a good advert. I take a breath. You put me next to Yasmin at that dinner on purpose. I did. Finally, an admission. Thank you, genuinely. Best thing anybody's done for me. She smiles. And now it's ours. The pace, the apartment, all of it. Smile disappears a little. No checklists, no second bedroom talk. You don't run it. She gets teary immediately. I'm not crying. Okay? I just wanted somebody in this family to be good to you. Then she says the thing I don't expect. Ramona wasn't. She wipes her face. Fine, I'll stop. You won't. I'll slow down. I tell Yasmin that night, both conversations, start to finish. She listens to all of it without one joke. Then she asks, Did you soften it with Ramona? No. Took you 5 minutes this time. 4. There he is. Then she says the next thing casually, like it's nothing. By the way, Ramona's wedding invite came. Both our names are on it. I stare at her. Wedding. Right. Apparently Ramona moves fast too. Whole separate story, not mine. Yasmin watches me process it. I want to go, she says, with you, properly. So, a couple of weeks later, we go to the wedding. My ex is marrying a guy named Leaf. Yasmin and I are seated at table 9, which is the complicated table, obviously. Yasmin holds my hand walking in, not hiding it. The cousin gives us a look. Yasmin gives her a small wave. Devastating. Ramona says 3 words to me at the drinks bit. Glad you came. Congrats. He seems good. And that's it. No speech, no scene, nothing. It turns out you can just be done with someone. Nobody tells you that. Then their mom finds us and starts to say something. Mom, Yasmin says, I was going to compliment the flowers. Were you? Partly. One slow song. We dance. Badly. I have no rhythm. Her chin on my shoulder. Are you okay being here? Weirdly, yeah. Good. Pause. Because I want to leave. We've been here 2 hours. I came for you, not the cake. Let's go be at home. So, we bail before dessert, get chips on the way, eat them on her floor between taped up boxes in our formal clothes, her still in the dress. Me, with my tie in my pocket, best wedding I've ever been to. And I left it early, a week later, moving day. And she runs it like a job site. She points at a corner. That wall, nothing goes on that wall yet. Why? Because I'm not sure yet, and you'll drill it. I drilled one thing wrong, once, in my old bathroom. She gives me a look. Load-bearing feelings. I get the kitchen, which she hands over completely. Your territory. I don't want opinions in here. You have opinions about everything. Not about where the pans go. That's yours. And she means it. She asks me twice where things should live, and just does it. Then the furniture war. Round 2. My desk and her grandmother's hallway table both fit. Turns out the new place has an actual hallway. So we planned the whole apartment around a table. And a desk around a table. We'll let history decide. We get to about 9 p.m. Nothing's finished, no plates unpacked. We eat noodles out of the containers standing up. She's got dust on her face, and I don't tell her. Then she leans against me. This is what I wanted. I look around at the boxes. Just this bit, the boring bit. You wanted noodles standing up. I wanted you here at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. She looks at me. Yes. And I realize I don't have to go home, because I'm standing in it. A week in, Saturday, still boxes everywhere. And their mom sends a photo, a tiny knitted hat, no message, just the hat. What is this? Yasmin looks at it for a long time. That's phase 2. She promised she'd slow down. She said slow, not stop, I warned you. Then a second text from their mom. For someday, no pressure. 2 exclamation marks each. Maximum pressure. Yasmin types back, Mom, we own 4 plates. The reply, plates can be bought. We're both laughing on the floor of our own kitchen. So she unpacks and I sit on the counter. Role reversal. I like it up here. She points. I hand things down. Glasses, the good knife, a colander with 1 broken foot. Then she stops. Why do we have 3 whisks? We have 3 whisks because you kept 2 of mine. I kept 2 of yours because they were better. She points 1 at me. That's a compliment. Then she opens a small box and freezes. Inside is the little sugar cat decoration, the one from Ramona's birthday cake. Not the cake, just the tiny hard sugar cat. Yasmin must have taken it before the cake got thrown out, then sealed it in the little box. She kept it for 2 years. She holds the box up. Where does this go? I stare at it. You still have that? Somebody should. She puts the little box on the windowsill over the sink. Doesn't explain it. Walks off to open another box. And that's the whole thing, honestly. Ramona's mom tried to set me up with her other daughter, at a dinner where I was too scared to say no to anything, and now I say no to people fine. And I live with someone who kept the sugar cat. Later, we're on the couch, Lise on the coffee table, both our names on it, her head on my shoulder, feet up, not talking. Phone buzzes on the table. It's their mom. Sunday dinner, 6 p.m., both of you. Yasmin doesn't even look up. Tell her yes. Then, after half a second, and tell her no baby talk. She'll do it anyway. Obviously, she shifts closer. Say it anyway. So I type, yes, no baby talk. And I mean both parts.